trials and put fluoride in your water so you stay dumb, and put a lot of vaccines in your body, which leads us to this next article from CBS Detroit. FDA clears HIV vaccine for human trials. Well, I can tell you this. I did a few drug studies back in college when I needed some money, but you will not find me lining up for this, for human trials for this HIV vaccine. University of Western Ontario researcher Dr. Chil Young Kang said his treatment is the only one to use a whole genetically modified HIV virus that's been killed, of course, much like methods used for polio, rabies, and flu vaccines. Let me tell you this. If you look on any vaccine label, you get the insert that comes with it, not the little one sheet that tells you it's perfectly safe. But if you actually read the label, this is what you need to do for any of these vaccines. Get the insert, get you a medical dictionary, and read what those side effects mean, because it's written in all kinds of weird doctor language that you probably won't understand. But the one sentence that sticks in my mind for every vaccine insert that I've ever read, they all say this, and I'm going to paraphrase, but it's probably the quote. Has not been tested for cancerous or mutagenic potential. That's in every vaccine insert that I read that they wanted to stick into my kids. Every single one of them has not been tested to see if it causes cancer. And they do that for a reason, because we're going to find out 5-10 years down the road that it is these vaccines that are causing cancer, and that's why our vaccine rate is high, and so is our cancer rate. They're right there neck and neck. And then you look at countries like Singapore, who have a very low vaccine rate, and they have a very high or a very low cancer rate to go along with it. So there you go. FDA clears the HIV vaccine for human trials, and soon they'll be pushing it down your throat that you need it. And not to mention, HIV is a bioweapon. Look it up. And now let's go to some really disturbing news. If you weren't disturbed enough by what we just read, in Egypt, and I watched this video today, and it's really disturbing. You have these cops in their Global Love Cop armor, body armor, with their giant sticks, beating up females, kicking females in the face, beating them repeatedly after they're down on the ground, not posing anybody any harm. They probably weren't posing anybody any harm to begin with, but protesting their fake government that was backed by Western powers with this Arab Spring. So we're going to go to a video right now. Go ahead and roll it, and I'll just talk over it. And it shows them severely just beating women over and over again unconscious. Here they are. Here's some protesters trying to drag the women away. And then there the cops go, and they start wailing. Look at this. And I believe there was some music going to this that they're playing in the background too. But this is severely disturbing, and this goes on and on and on. Here he is kicking this lady in the chest, who's completely passed out. She's not a threat to anyone. But I noticed they carry very large sticks. You can see their large sticks that they carry, and you know, I really think this just has to do with the fact that these Egyptian police have very small male genitalia. And so they have to have these giant sticks to make up for that fact and beat on women, because they're probably very insecure because their genitalia is so small. And here they are running in fear because now the populace is fighting back. And it's just, this is sick. And this is what goes on here too. I mean, we're not immune from this. We've seen peaceful protesters here sprayed with pepper spray. We've seen them beaten repeatedly. And this is just a sign of the times. This is going to increase more and more, where stuff like this is going to seem common. They're going to play it so much. You're going to see these clips on YouTube, and then it's not going to seem like it's a big deal after a while, and you're going to expect it. And it's outrageous, and you can go read about it on, I think this is thedailymail.co.uk. You can, the headline is Middle East, I can't even read that. Day of Shame in the Middle East. Female protesters beaten with metal poles as vicious soldiers drag girls through the streets. It's completely disgusting and shocking. But it's a sign of the times. It's what's going to be coming here to this country. Just wait, if it hasn't already. Moving on to some Russian-Libyan news. Russians push to investigate Libyan civilian deaths. The U.S. calls it a cheap stunt. And we reported on this back right when the invasion was happening, right when the rebellion was happening, that black Libyans were going to be targeted by this Al-Qaeda force that NATO had backed. and that special forces were assisting. And then we go to some shots of a town called Twyerga, and you can see blacks just laying on the ground. They're dead. There's more shots of them. Some businesses, black-owned businesses that were burnt out. Here's some blacks that are being taken to detention camps, and here's more black civilian deaths. And these are people who weren't fighting the war, who weren't backing either side, but just happened to be caught in the crossfire. Yeah, there's a little boy there, and we also showed some video that McBreen put together that I really didn't want to show again because, although we should see it, the little girl with her jaw blown off, and you know, wondering why she was, you know, dying a gruesome death, and it's horrible. And there were civilian deaths, and there were a lot of civilian deaths. And NATO and the United States don't want anybody to know about it. They want to pretend this was a honorable rebellion of people, and we all know it was Al-Qaeda. And now you got one of the governors there in Libya who's now leading the attack into Syria. So I'm not questioning whether these regimes were good or bad or not, but you know, putting in Al-Qaeda, our supposed enemy, is that good? Is that what we should be supporting? I don't think so. And now we're going to end with a bit of nice news. Back in 2004, there was a tsunami that went through the Indian Ocean, and this girl was swept away by it. And she survived 7 years living with other people and finally made it back to her home. And she was swept away 7 years ago. On Friday, she broke down in tears after tracking her parents down, who had long lost hope of finding her alive. She can only remember her grandfather's name, saying it was Ibrahim, and someone tracked the man down by that name, and they were unsure if it was actually his granddaughter, and then they summoned her, and there was a great reunion. And you know, I guess that just shows the enduring human spirit that we have, and that humans have, and that normal people have. And hopefully we can stand up to these globalists in the coming years, because, you know, 2012 is right around the corner. It's literally a week away. And we're going to go to break now. We're going to show you, I guess we showed this yesterday, we premiered it yesterday, but Amy Allen, who's a musician who wrote the Ron Paul theme song back in 2008, she's going to show you how easy it is to get on your phone and make some calls in support of Ron Paul. Call Iowa, where the caucus is going to be. And you can do this on all the states of the upcoming caucuses. So she shows you how easy it is. The website's there. It's really easy to do. So this holiday season, when you're hanging out at your house with your relatives and you're watching football, well, why don't you pull up your laptop or your iPhone and start making some phone calls for Ron Paul, and let's see a landslide in Iowa, so that the pundits could come back and say, oh, pay no attention to the landslide. It doesn't mean anything. You have to vote for Newt Gingrich or Mitt Romney, who was just endorsed by George Bush. So if you vote for Mitt Romney, you're supporting George Bush and all these illegal wars that him and his son and the rest of his ilk have done against our species and the rest of the human population. So I'm going to leave you with that. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back with one of the makers of A Noble Lie and one of the veteran retired police officers, Don Browning, who said the FBI threatened him just because he was asking questions. And we'll get into that and a whole lot more. It's InfoWars Nightly News. Please consider becoming a member of PrisonPlanet.tv or check us out at InfoWarsNews.com. Thank you.
What's up, nation? I'm Amy Allen, and I'm here to show you that you can cook dinner while participating in the Phone from Home program for the Ron Paul 2012 campaign. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make some potatoes, I'm going to make some burger sliders, all while calling Iowa citizens and asking them 3 questions. I'm being connected to Ryan Reinking. Pauline Hawthorne. Oh my god, I can't pronounce that name. Hello, is Steve Rammsteiner available, please? Hi, is Gerald Putnam available, please? I'm not going to totally, you know, be like infomercial, like, oh, it's not really hard sometimes. I have just 3 questions. Okay. People hang up on you or whatever. That's not very cool. My name is Amy Allen, and I'm a volunteer helping to conduct a Republican presidential primary poll. This is so easy. You could literally do laundry, make dinner. You could walk the dog, I guess, if you didn't have to be close to the internet. Go ahead and kick it up a notch and add some garlic. Oh, I wonder if this is good. Hi, is Aurora Adams available, please? All you have to do is go to phone.ronpaul2012.com. It's fulfilling and it's rewarding. Right, Doug? That's not my dog, by the way.
If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the INFOWARS store at INFOWARS.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe INFOWARS t-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at INFOWARS.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at INFOWARS.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. INFOWARS.com.
Dr. Ron Paul, more than 4,000 babies delivered, a man of faith, committed to protecting life.
Some people need to have a good word said about them. Ron is the sort of person that his life is his good word.
You know, you just knew that Ron cared about you. Life begins at conception, in my opinion, and as a result, I love to go to a doctor who felt the same way.
He not only protects unborn life, but he also walks through journeys with women, and he has for years.
I love the fact that he hadn't changed in all these years. Ron's still the same guy, still saying the same things, and now all these years later, still standing his ground.
Ron did not let Washington change him.
It's not hard for someone who is a Christian and who truly believes to stay on the right path, and I think that's what kind of person Ron Paul is.
America has to have someone like Ron Paul today. There is no question.
Welcome back to InfoWars Nightly News. So did you get your laptop? Are you calling? Are you going to make some calls for Ron Paul this Christmas season when you're sitting around watching football? All right. All right, now we're about to go to our interview with Don Browning and Holland van de Nieuwenhof. But first I want to show you a clip. This is an excerpt from the movie.